Pattern recognition is a higher level concept that anybody can get. Pattern recognition is kind of the thing besides experience that your coach has that he or she wishes you had, and so do you. It's the thing that allows coaches you've interacted with in the past that have been excellent. It's what allows them to get that rating. It's what allows coaches to kind of foresee the future events that are going to happen and say, go, stand right there, quick, ball's going to come right to you. And it does. And you look back and go, how the heck did they know that? They are recognizing patterns in the game. Patterns of movement, patterns of skills, patterns of tendencies. Pattern recognition is not talked about enough, and it is a huge, big deal. So let's talk about pattern recognition. Before I go any further, though, I hope I've built it up a bit. What I want to do is I want to tell you some stories to hopefully make it make more sense instead of explaining it to death. My first story is about a girl named Chelsea. Chelsea was a talented high school athlete that played in the league that I live near, and she ended up playing against my team one day, and I was a little bit late to the match. So I'm the coach. My assistant had taken over for me. I walk in, and the score does not look good. They're beating us. My assistant coach goes, man, they're killing us. I mean, this is my volleyball court. This is the net. They say, they're just getting kills from everywhere. Just everywhere along the net. They're just killing us. We can't tell where they're going to attack next. So I watch for about 5 minutes, and I look over and I go, dude, it's the same child hitting every ball. Like, literally every ball was being set to the same kid, this girl named Chelsea. Now, I had happened to have worked with her before, so I knew her, but the thing was, it seemed like there was no pattern. There was unpredictable there. Again, he kills from the left, and kills in the middle, and kills on the right. And it seemed to the players and to the assistant like they were just amazing that everybody on the team could hit, when in fact, only one kid on the team could hit, and it was this girl, Chelsea. And so I said, let's block her and see if anybody else hurts us. So I yell out to the court. I go, hey, my middle blocker. Hey, my middle, go stand in front of Chelsea. Because they knew each other. And she goes, okay. And doesn't move. And I go, no, go stand in front of Chelsea right now. And she goes, okay. And she goes like this. So Chelsea in this particular rotation, I remember it like it was yesterday, is going to attack right side. So my middle moves from here to here. I said, no, go stand right in front of Chelsea. They're going to set her. I'm yelling. Everybody in the gym can hear me. I know Chelsea's mom, because again, I had worked with her before. She's up in the stands going, there it goes. There goes the game right there. Somebody figured it out. She had been watching her daughter be the best person on the team all year. And she also knew they were playing me, who has done a lot of volleyball. I'm not the coolest guy ever, but I can recognize patterns when I see them. And so I said, you will walk over her and you will stand in front of that. And she moves over, kind of terrified. I said, stand there. See that girl? That's Chelsea. You block her. So she stood there. Sure enough, they sent a ball over to Chelsea. We block her. So my middle blocker moves back and they're like, no. Go stand in front of Chelsea. And so they sat away from Chelsea. Now you'd think that this was the end of my great plan, but the other players didn't matter. They were what I like to refer to as flying free balls. They would hit, boo, these little things that were like easy down balls at us. So I don't care if somebody does that to us. I care if Chelsea keeps crushing the ball and beating us. So to recognize the pattern, well, there's no pattern. What are you talking about? It's from everywhere. No. It's the same kid. Pattern recognition doesn't necessarily, you can't say, well, all the hits come from here and they go down the line. That happens sometimes. But pattern recognition is just looking for any commonality that is out there that you can use to your advantage or somebody else's disadvantage. So, a second story. Mr. Abad. Mr. Abad was awesome. He was the trigonometry and calculus teacher at my high school. I never had the good fortune of having him in class, but he was really cool and would play the intramural sports at lunch with the students. And he was a very good basketball player. And so my team ended up playing his team just prior to the championship rounds. And basically, if we won, we were going to be in the championship. If they won, they were going to be in the championship. And I was sitting there going, oh man, how are we going to beat A-Bad's team? They've beaten everybody except the varsity players. And so my friend, who played basketball better than I did, said, well, you're going to stop A-Bad, meaning me. And I'm like, how do you expect me to stop him? He is the best player in the league that's not on the varsity team. And he says, well, A-Bad only shoots from 2 spots. He likes this spot here, and if he can't have that spot, he'll do a layup from here. That's it. He literally won't shoot anywhere else. So he says, you, Griff, you are going to make sure he does not get that spot. And when he runs and tries to do the layup, you beat him there and block him. Now, I got this assignment because I wasn't the greatest basketball player, and I was much more valuable as an athletic defender than an offensive score maker. So the people that were better at basketball did basketball things to score points. I just got into A-Bad's way, and literally in the 2 spots that had been pointed out to me, I was given the instructions, just like my note, you will go stand there, you will not care about anybody else. They said, we don't care if the ball gets passed, we don't care where he runs, you care about those 2 spots, and you make sure that it doesn't happen from there. Because those are the spots he likes, those are the spots he goes to, that's where he wants to score. He rarely misses from there. Other places he becomes a very normal player. If he beats us from other spots on the court, you, Griff, have done your job, and it's okay. So I was given permission to fail everywhere but those 2 spots. I'll be darned. We were the only non-varsity team to beat this guy, and I know right now, I'll tell you right now, it was because all I did was play defense and let other people do all the offensive work and make sure that he did not get those 2 spots. And he scored like 2 points where he usually scores like 7 in a game to, I don't know, was it 10 or 12? I don't know. It doesn't matter. The point is, my friend recognized the pattern of how he was beating people and sent somebody over to stop it. So pattern recognition is incredibly important for defense. We've already had 2 stories where, you know, the story, you know, the offense is coming at you or somebody's beating you. So defensively speaking, what are some real world examples we could talk about that you could use? Okay, first of all, setter dumps. Oh my gosh, you kids, I was one too, but you're killing me. When the ball is not passed off the net, when the ball's passed close to the net and high to the top of the net, setters have to jump up. Well, a lot of setters can't even set from up there, so they have to dump. And it seems like it's hard for you to see that, some of you young athletes. When the ball gets high and tight to the net, that is a wonderful time for a setter to dump. Number 1, because you're really close to pushing the ball over. Number 2, because some of them aren't good enough to do anything else. And yet, some kids just can't seem to see the pattern. Like, oh, it's going high and tight. That's when setter dumps usually happen. Why don't we learn to look for the pattern, see it coming earlier in the future, and be able to effectively stop that setter by blocking her or him, or tell your friends to do that, and you'll be regarded as a genius. Also, under defense, when you're blocking, we're not talking about setter dumps anymore, just you blocking. Blocking's hard. Blocking, you can do everything right and still not block a ball. Blocking is so difficult. It's not impossible, but I could go on for at least an hour straight on blocking. My point is this: when you block and you don't get the block, when you come down, most kids go, oh, I failed, I didn't block the ball. That's not true. What happened was generally the ball went here or here. It went to your left or to your right. Well, if you block 2 or 3 balls on the same kid and every ball goes by to the left, I got an idea. Why don't you recognize that pattern? He or she wants to beat me on this side, and see if you block a ball. It would seem, when I say it, like it's so simple. Like, what kind of a doofus wouldn't do that? What kind of a doofus wouldn't see that and, like, move over? The answer is almost all young people. This is what coaches do. They recognize patterns and they go, hey, they're just move over. And then magically balls get blocked. And then the coach doesn't have the time to say, well, I recognize their pattern, so I moved you into it, and that's why we ended up winning, because you followed my directions, I recognized the pattern, and it all worked out. How about you learn to recognize the pattern so that you can make game time, speed of game decisions, and execute them on your own, leaving the coach to do higher level things. Besides defense, we can also use pattern recognition for offense.